I hate it when God calls me right in the middle of the service. Y'all remember when you were a child?
Yep.
Some of you older geezers. Well, the new kids today won't know what I'm talking about, but y'all remember the stories of Mother Goose? Remember those? I grew up on that stuff. I mean, today you mention it, and people go, huh?
Mother who?
Was she a superhero? I have the true story of Mother Goose. I always wondered about it growing up as a kid. Who is this lady? Well, I thought it was just a fictitious person, that you make up, Mother Goose. The old lady in the shoe is actually written after Mother Goose. The real Mother Goose did not live in a shoe, but she did have a whole bunch of children. The story of Mother Goose. I did some research. I printed it out. Here it is. Old Mother Goose was, in fact, a real person. Her maiden name was Foster, so she was Mother Foster. But she was born in Charlestown, Massachusetts in 1665. She grew to be a young woman of 18 years of age and married Isaac Goose. So, she became Mrs. Goose. Isaac Goose died a few years later, leaving her a young widow with 10 children. Probably what killed the father. Anyway, for the entertainment of her large brood, remember this was 1665, no cell phones, no computers, no nothing. For the entertainment of her large brood of children, she wrote a great number of nursery rhymes, which were eventually collected and published by her son-in-law, Thomas Fleet. Old Mother Goose died at the age of 92 years old. Her works were published 10 years after she was buried. She was buried in Old Granary Cemetery in Boston, where even to this day you can visit her grave with Mother Goose on it, with a goose and her little book reading to her 10 children. Mother Goose was real. A real person who married Isaac Goose. So, today we're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to talk about how he celebrated a lady that in all aspects he didn't have to celebrate. He left Israel. He met a foreign woman. And she cried out on behalf of her child. And Jesus ignored her, and she cried out on behalf of her child again. And Jesus said, well, you're not part of Israel, can't do it. And she cried out for Jesus again. She was not going to quit crying out for that child. And Jesus even insulted her, saying, we don't throw our bread to the dogs, insinuating she was a dog because she was not part of Israel. And she cried out a fourth time saying, yes, but even the dogs eat what the children drop. I think Jesus' eyes got about that big and said, oh, wow, great is your faith, lady. Be it done as you wish. And immediately her child was saved and was healed. That's a mother's love. We're going to talk about that a little bit this morning. The characteristics and dynamics of a mother's love. First, I want you to stand up one more time and stretch.